Do you know that inside the Polyglot Notebooks it is possible to add your own magic commands? Let's see how to do in this video. Magic commands are a way inside Polyglot Notebooks to invoke procedure, tasks that are external from your Polyglot Notebooks but that can work with data inside your Polyglot Notebooks. Magic commands are the commands that you invoke with the hashbang characters. For example, if you type about and you can run, you have, for example, the information about .NET Interactive. In general, with hashbang, you can select, for example, the kernels that you want to run inside the cell, overriding the information that you can find on the bottom left of each cell inside Polyglot Notebooks. With the notion of extension, you can add your own custom magic commands to your notebooks. How to do that? We can use Visual Studio and C# library project to develop your own custom extension that you can add inside your Polyglot notebook as a NuGet package. Let's see how to do that. To create a custom extension, in Visual Studio you have to create first a class library project. Let's do it. Add new project, class library, we select name. Now that we are in March 2023, we have already Visual Studio Code, .NET Interactive and Polyglot Notebooks updated up to .NET 7. So when you are inside Visual Studio, you have some tasks to perform. First, add with a NuGet, add the .NET Interactive package. Then you have to create an extension class you can reuse. Inside the extension class you can add a static method called load. As an argument you can receive a kernel object. As you have defined this class, you see that it is not a class that derives from any particular class from .NET Interactive, or load is not a specific method in some interfaces. You can call run, execute, or init. It is exactly the same. What makes this class an extension for Polyglot Notebooks is the invocation of this method inside this class from Polyglot Notebooks. To do that, we need to create a notebook that is invoked automatically by Polyglot Notebooks. Let's see how to do that. From Visual Studio Code, we create a notebook that we put inside the extension project, and we give it a name that is extension.dib, but it is not mandatory to use extension name as for the notebook. What we do, we specifically invoke our method that we have already defined. So APN toolbox extension load, and now as we have to set kernel as a parameter, we want to refer to the kernel that manages the notebook that is invoking the magic command inside the extension. It is represented in a static property inside the .NET Interactive framework. Let's see. This is the custom invocation that maps our extension inside the Polyglot notebook. But we need a final step. In the project file, we need to add an item group, and we have to include the extension dib file with none include extension.dib. We have to say that the extension has to be included in the package, and we have to say that the extension dib has to be put in a specific folder with package path argument. It is a specific folder. This is enough. Now that we have configured the project for the extension, we can start writing. So, as we want to use magic commands, the first step is defining the command. And we can do that with the creation of a command object. For example of this video, we can create a very simple command. We can call it now to show the current daytime. The command comes from the command line namespace, and it has a couple of arguments. First is the command name, and the second is a description. Okay, we have defined the command. The command requires a couple of things. First, the action, so what this command does, and then we have to define that this command is part of the extension, but you see that currently is just an object inside a parameters inside the load method. So first, what to do, and we do that with setHandler method. This method accepts an action, and we can define the action with a land expression. We can write anything we need inside the code, but the most important thing is that this extension has to relate with the environment, that specifically is the current cell inside we are invoking the magic command. And this is done again with the kernel invocation context. This is currently the selected kernel inside the cell we are invoking the command that we have defined. A kernel has several methods inside the object. The first and the simple for this demo is display. Display means that we have to show a string. In general, as you see MIME types, in general we show here HTML string. Think that Polyglot Notebooks is made by web technology. We run inside the browser, and for example also Markdown language inside the Polyglot Notebook is rendered as HTML. So we express that with the HTML string object. And here we can define anything we want. Also plain text can be rendered as HTML. And simply we print the date time now. That's it. So now that we have a command defined and that does anything for your code, what we can do? We have to declare this command to the extension, and we do that with add directive. For debugging purposes, we can use again the display method to show that the extension is already loaded. Okay, to use the extension, we should create a NuGet package and publish to the NuGet's website. But for debugging purposes, we can do all of that inside a notebook and locally. First, we need to create the package. How do we create the package? We can use a PowerShell code, so we can change the kernel in a cell and invoke the .NET command line. We need to specify the project path. Then we need to specify a version for the package. And then we need to specify an output. Okay, this is enough. We can run. Great. So now we need to use the package folder as a source for NuGet package, and we can use the bang-i command. You see that it uses packages as a source. Great. Now we can refer to the package and load. Great. When you see your custom message, you know that the extension was loaded. So we can now create a new cell and invoke our command. Great, you see that the datetime is shown. So this is the end of this first video. Hope you enjoyed the content. We will explore more of the extension space in future videos. Bye!